Hello, everybody, and Dr. Burns. My name is Lance. My goal here today is to speak with you about something that could possibly save your life, more importantly, save a family member's life one day. Today, I'd like to discuss the concept of cardiopulmonary resuscitation, known commonly by the acronym CPR. Specifically, I'm going to discuss the key points and tenets of a new way of doing CPR set forth by the American Heart Association, known as hands-only CPR. In my opinion, this subject is most important due to the fact that I'm not sure that most of the citizenry knows that the American Heart Association has changed the guidelines for actually doing CPR. And as my career, I'm a paramedic, and I have found through several instances and situations, I've showed up on scene and family members or friends of the recently deceased have done very little to nothing in regards of trying to resuscitate their family or friend. And in my opinion, this is the greatest disservice that they could ever do to this individual, because this brief, short bit of time is the greatest chance of survival that they have. According to the American Heart Association, 89% of all cardiac arrests will eventually die due to that individual not receiving immediate CPR. I have come to find in these situations that these people don't act because they don't care, which is the reverse. They care very much. They just don't know what to do. Another study says that Americans feel 70% of all Americans feel helpless in an emergency situation because of lack of ability to administer CPR or from fear of causing further damage. Me personally, I can think of 5 to 10 situations off the top of my head where a young adult could have had a fighting chance to live if they were administered early CPR. The science behind hands-only CPR is sound. It's there. It makes complete and total sense. Whenever you take all of these statistics into account for the fact that people are scared to act and that they don't know what to do, we make it more simple. So, the American Heart Association has come up with a far easier and more effective way of doing CPR, which we've already discussed, which is hands-only CPR. And by hands-only CPR, we're referring to chest compressions only. No more rescue breathing. And the science behind this is that they have found that the blood stays oxygenated over a far greater period of time than previously thought. So, rescue breathing is not as effective or indicated in situations that we have previously thought. Another fact says people who receive hands-only CPR are 2 to 3 times more likely to survive than people who have received conventional CPR with rescue breathing. Third, we get to the process, the actual process of doing CPR. Some of you may have your BCLS card, your basic CPR card, and you were taught the 30 compressions and 2 breaths, where you pump it on chest for 30 times, and then you give 2 breaths. That's gone. The new parameters is just complete and total chest compressions. And if you want to know the exact rate you're supposed to be giving these compressions at, it's anywhere between 100 and 120 beats. And if you've ever taken a CPR class, they'll teach you that remember the song, Staying Alive. Staying Alive. Me personally, I can't stand that song. So me, in my head, I sing Queen, Another One Bites the Dust. Another One Bites the Dust. Much better. In conclusion, by knowing how to perform hands-only CPR, you could save the life of your parents, your grandparents, more importantly, your children. By taking into consideration that 80% of all cardiac arrests occur in private houses or residential groups, it is evidence that it will be you who is the first line of care, as well as the most important. It is up to you to stay vigilant and to protect those around you, even in the most dire of circumstances. Thank you for your time.